Lights out?
No, not exactly.
The usual thing?
Lights out, the usual thing.
You in some kind of thing at...
I like to please my man. I like to do things for him. I like to feel like I'm in control, and that makes me feel good. But I guess, I could use some tips. Most definitely.
Wow.
And the ABC thing isn't going to help me right away.
How about a beef tip?
How about, we got a couple. Chuck wants to learn, too. I don't know why.
Dinner.
Why don't you guys just practice together?
No. That's sick.
It's just a learning experience.
It'd be like incest.
Can we do it
or
from
something,
across the
wouldn't it?
room?
Huh?
Can we do it from across the room?
98 today, maybe 100, maybe 102. Really, the forecast says between 100 and 103 today. Yesterday it was 102. It set a record. No rain in the forecast. Right. Still to come, the secret of the Mons Furrow.
Man, you think the weather's going to be hot? This show could be exceptionally caliente.
Well,
But only if you fork over your intelligence here on what turns you and your partner on in the sack.
your special sexual technique, that's what I want to know about. Melissa, what do you have here? And be careful with the language now.
Well, I don't know if I can do it without the language.
Okay, are you talking about a way that you totally engulf the man?
Yes.
How about like that? Is that it?
Try the penal area.
Excuse me?
I said try the penal area.
Yeah, we knew it. I think I more or less let people
Got
know what
that
we were
far.
talking about, yeah.
Okay.
And so that's all you do. You do the Linda Lovelace number.
Yeah.
So
well,
it is?
Yeah. Well, you can put it all the way down in the throat, and I still have my tonsils. So when you swallow, if you swallow while it's in there, it
Mom.
just drives them crazy.
With your tonsils.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it gets caught in their gills, too. It's like, that's kind of neat,
That's
man.
called the penal system.
Look at this guy over here.
Yeah. That's in the Kama Sutra.
Oh, yeah, that's
believe,
yeah, I'm sure penal system is there. Kama Sutra is a couple of people with big eyes doing something.
How are you doing that without choking?
I don't think they're doing the Melissa. See, now we go. Now Kelley wants to know that, how you overcome the gag reflex.
Yeah.
Well, it took a long time to get over that. You gotta just concentrate. Don't try not to think about it, and try not to stay there very long.
Plus,
Wow.
the air tubes down your nose help a lot.
All right. Yeah, it first happened when she was in a hospital bed. That's it. Well, the first time I was unconscious, Steve. Gradually, I learned to do it when I was fully conscious and ready. All right, Melissa. All right, so I guess it's much. See, the thing is, now if you do that sort of thing, sometimes people just want that from you. They don't want they want the special little thing, and they don't want anything else.
Yeah, they won't like you for you.
Yeah, you ever found that? You ever thought that someone's just being friendly with you because of the tonsils?
Your sparkling personality would take a second place to.
Well, no, because only the special ones get that treatment.
Only the special ones. Yeah, but what if they like that treatment so much that that's all they want? Then they don't want to please you.
Yeah.
Well,
They like being special ed all the time.
Right.
well, that's food for thought.
Food for. I get it.
Thanks, Melissa.
Food for.
Right. Well, that's like what the sex goddess was talking about, practicing with things.
Yeah, you just got to get over the gag reflex.
So maybe next time you're at the pool, you could, when you're out there with all the other ladies, they wonder what the hell you're doing, and you're just practicing.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it.
But what if, say, if they've had like a tonsillectomy, is there a way to put them back?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something that Ray from Apollo has over there, Apollo News.
Fake tonsils?
Yeah, something you stick back there. Yeah,
Implants.
yeah, with a squeeze ball.
Right next to the gummy peckers?
Yeah,
The
that's
air
it.
tonsils.
Right, that's it. Air tonsils. You just have that squeeze bulb, and how's that? Oh, good, baby. Wait a minute, James here needs some explanation before we move on. Yes, James. James, you there? Hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah, I was wondering, what's the ABC concept?
That what I was talking about. Sam Kinison shared with us all.
It's
Yes, if you're
easy as 1, 2, 3.
yeah, that's it. I mean, you actually,
re, mi.
make the letters with your tongue,
okay.
like you're drawing the letters with your tongue.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, very nice. He caught on quickly.
Ah, he does.
It's good.
Fast learner, James.
Right. And then there's Ben here. Yes, hello, Ben.
Hey, how you doing, Lyle?
I'm doing okay. This could be my final show, but what the hell?
No, it was real easy to get on. I guess no one wants to call in and give their favorite sexual positions, huh?
Not favorite sexual positions.
No.
It's, what I'm talking about here is your sex secrets. Not favorite.
Special things that you do.
Yeah, that you do, that
I
you have
see. Well,
developed.
yeah.
Like a part of your repertoire that you like to believe that no one else really has. That's where you have to be careful. Like if someone else has a sex secret and you're cheating on your spouse and you pick up that secret and then you bring that into your spousal sex relationship, then they wonder, well, wait a
Where'd you
minute.
get
Where'd that
that?
come
Hey, you've never done that before.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know?
I got one. Well, this is what I told her. I told her, I said, well, my favorite position is female superior, but I have an exotic position that I did before. And that was back in high school. We were on a swing set, and I was upside down, and she was on top. It was like sideways. It was pretty wild.
That's the Buffalo Man.
The Buffalo Man. Is it you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the Buffalo
Gave her
Man.
the Buffalo.
Just promise me that you've never done the Buffalo Man, because if I try to picture you doing the Buffalo Man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and just leave. I can't. Please.
I'm seeing
better
pain
scoot
and
then.
bodily injury.
Promise me that you've never done
Prayer. As I raise my hand, my son.
the Buffalo Man.
The Buffalo, is that what that is?
That's what it's called. I've never done it, but that's what it's called, just so you'll know, Ben.
Yeah, right.
I would think more of the iguana or something like that. You know?
No.
Right.
Some kind of reptile animal.
They
But there's nothing that you do, like a little stutter step or,
Oh, yeah, occasionally, you know.
something with clothespins, alligator clips. Don't do that. Huh?
Alligator clips?
Yeah, well,
Explain that one.
I don't know. What one is, or what do you do with them? All right.
Yeah. You'll have to see our infomercial if you want to know more about that.
You have to buy my overpriced video
It's called Power Hit.
featuring a couple of sluts on pillows. That's going to be it. Yeah, $80.
Yep.
And it'll be a wonderful orgasm you'll have. You'll learn secrets you've never
Right.
known before. You'll see.
Filmed in 20 minutes in Seguin
Right.
at a lake house on McQueenie.
Oh, yeah. I hear there's a
Hey, you, Tubin.
a lot of-
Want to be in a movie? Hey, you in the polka dot bikini.
You're really beautiful. Let's see the amateurs going at it here. The best kissers, if you're a straight woman who's into kissing, the most enthusiastic kissers are, of course, lesbians.
Figures.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's all developed to a high art form, I guess. 95% of whom include kissing in their lovemaking. We know that because we have surveyed each and every lesbian in America.
Yeah, that's what Jodie Foster told me.
Next come gay men, 71%. That's show how much courage they have. And last place are heterosexuals. 25% of heterosexuals admit they don't kiss much at all.
Aw.
Want a part of it.
We need more kissing.
Right.
Is that from one of those magazines?
Well, from
Yeah.
one of those magazines. No, it's not. It's from our personal research, man. We stop people at the mall.
That's right. This came from the LBJ Library in Austin.
Oh, yes.
Kissed each and every one.
718. Hey, what are your sex secrets? Share with us all your special techniques that you've developed.
Wow, maybe Macaulay Culkin will call in.
470-KISS. KISS. The album is Nimrod, Green Day's Time of Your Life. It's the Lisle Hahn Show. Possum and Beaverhead, Fatback in the Hoe, the Burrow Brothers! Just a couple of asses in the morning! The catchphrase of the month is,
She's got the funk, bro.
Wake up! She's got the funk, bro. That's it. That's the catchphrase, and we're talking sex today. Yeah, it's about time. Now, we've been talking sex in a long time. We're just adults here gathering as extended family members, and we're just kicking it, back and forth here a little bit. Trying to find out some of the sex secrets you developed over the years. Maybe something a little special that really, really works. Because whoever you're with says, that's incredible. What did you just do?
Share.
Never felt anything like that before.
We wanna
Right.
know.
Yeah, turn around and talk to me. What was that? Okay, Jennifer.
Yes.
Jennifer wants to know whether or not there's some deal of. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this in a better way. Oral stimulation of the scrotum. How about that, huh?
Is it
That sounds
pleasurable?
clinical, right?
Yeah.
As long as I stay clinical, I'm okay on this thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the thing is that your girlfriend tells you that when she orally stimulates the scrotum, that on her boyfriend he goes crazy.
Yes.
And you wanted to know what exactly do you do? Do you try to take that whole bad boy in? What do you do? And I think you just go slowly, like I told you, and don't try to extract any oil reserves.
Yeah,
Don't go
well,
crazy.
This one's a new one on me, so I want to know if anybody else has tried this.
Oh, everybody does that. I mean, we do it to ourselves every morning.
Yeah.
Usually after a big meal.
No, you just have each other do it to you.
Excuse me?
I said you just have one another help you.
No, we do it to ourselves.
Just like woodland creatures gnawing at their own genitals.
Because we can, but I think that's what you do. I mean, you're sitting there and you're kind of caressing the whole area with your lips and tongue, and then that's included. I'm just saying, go easy down there
Kind of like
because
a
that's
dust buster as compared
go-
to a full
no.
vacuum.
right.
telling
Very
you, go
nice,
easy.
Kelley. Right, what you want to go? I mean, you want to go a little easy, but that's pretty much common, Jennifer. I don't want to say that our survey here says that you're the only person in San Antonio who doesn't do that, but there are 4 others.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
But they're all in ICU, so what's your excuse? All right.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.
Suck on, Jennifer. Suck on.
You go, girl.
That's called the gonad gulp.
But I just want. Oh, Jesus.
It just sounds painful.
Yeah, be careful way down there.
How
For
come-
it is.
Well, yeah, I know it. But how come none of your descriptions sound very loving? You know, it's like Buffalo Man, gonad gulp. You know, it's.
Sounds like something you get at the convenience store, isn't it?
It sounds like Grizzled Cowboys naming the West. You know, it's nothing with a little bit of. A little romantic fun.
No tenderness.
A little romantic
Wouldn't
fun or
say
something,
that.
you
I
know?
can get really tender, okay? Because you got to set the mood. See, what I always do is first thing I do is wait for the roofies to kick in.
Yeah, right. I'm going to give you a little hint here. 1/4 teaspoon of MSG. Unless you have an adverse reaction
No
to it,
kidding.
makes everything taste better. I'm telling you. It enhances the
Not
flavors
just
there.
Chinese food, huh?
Right. What do we have here?
This is like
What did you just give me, Chuck?
supposed alleged aphrodisiacs.
No, I'm not into stuff like that.
Well, I'm just
I wonder, how. See, all of that, whatever a Spanish fly is,
Cheese apparently increases the blood flow to the penis by up to 40%.
that's the active ingredient in Viagra. It's
Yeah,
Colby.
That's what I want to do. I want to eat a lot of cheese, and then it's time for
Yeah, it's sharp cheddar, man.
Spanish fly.
What is that an insect? That's no insect, is it? That's just a nickname, right?
You've always wanted to know that, right? About
Oh, it's-
Spanish fly.
Yeah, that's a legendary thing.
What, Spanish fly?
Powdered rhinoceros horn in Asia, supposedly.
See,
It's like,
those-
get out.
Those selling, fake Spanish fly have screwed with it everywhere. See, people now think it's not real. Oh, the Spanish fly. Oh, she is a hot one. All right, yeah. That's what it is. It's Spanish fly, man. It's like a wingless, fat aphid.
Like medfly?
That's what it is. That's the Spanish
And you just
fly.
ground it up?
Right.
Legs and all.
I don't need it. But, maybe there is. See, that includes the sex secrets, too. Maybe there's something you found, some food product.
Yeah, like milkweed.
Some, the soul horn from some endangered species.
Yeah, the
that
horny
were
toad
ground
horn
as
that
something
makes you
special.
horny.
Who knows what the hell it is. And maybe
Right.
you want to pass that along to us. Because I know you have these secrets there. And at the
Ground-
same time, you can see there are people like Jennifer there who call that, who, they need some enlightenment.
We just want to know.
I want to I want to hear a tape of that conversation she had with her girlfriend when her
Oh,
girlfriend bought
wouldn't
that
you
home.
love? Yeah, you think those tapes smuggled out of the zoo or something?
Guys talk about a lot of things, but they won't sit there and start talking about their little technique. And if they do, you usually want to leave the room.
Yeah.
You just don't want to. That's okay. You can just keep that to yourself. This morning you can share it with us. Ordinarily in private, you just don't do that.
Right.
Like if somebody was in the office and they were talking about doing something with some guy's scrotum, I'd just rather not hear that.
Especially at a meeting.
It's like Virgil. Just
It's the department head meeting, and
why don't you just keep that to yourself?
yeah,
man.
that's okay.
470-KISS is our number.
The first time they were free.
Righty. 732. It's amazing the stuff that you can talk about on the radio compared to not all that long ago. As I've mentioned so many times here, and I just mentioned the other day in a meeting, like first thing was ever in my personal file. See, the fall of '83, the beginning of 1984, was that I remember the PD he'd call me in his office and he said, "You say last night on the show, did you say pubic hair?" Oh, yeah.
No.
I've got to put that in your file.
Get away.
It happened to
Did
me.
somebody complain?
I think it was the fall of '83. No, I think the general manager heard it.
And
That was
that's all-
right here. I was doing the night show.
It's clinical, man.
And I thought pubic hair. That's what it is. It is what it is. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I said anything about doing anything with it. I just, I'm like,
You just said that you put some on the general manager's desk.
yeah, that was it. Pubic hair, and that was it. And so, much like Dr. Johnny Fever and Booger and WKRP, it was always the joke that he got fired for saying booger someplace. I had that put in my personal file.
Oh,
of course, you
bad
always have
boy.
that personal file. I've noticed that once you get sold a few times, the company gets sold a few times.
Kind of disappears.
Yeah, there is a whatever happened. I'd like my personal file back. Personal file? What's that? You don't have any personal file.
Now we've come to a point in time to where you can actually say, Mons Furrow.
Wow. And we've also come to a point in time where it can be explained, and that's still to come here on the show this morning. Yes, Daryl.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. I was just calling in to say that the ABCs are really, really lame.
Really lame?
Yep. I got this technique of mine that makes the ABC just completely and totally obsolete.
All right, what is your technique?
Well, first you're going to have to get the female genitalia and get a really good understanding of what's down there. If you look at it, you can kind of start relating certain parts of the female's anatomy to that of your own.
So in other words,
know what I'm saying?
you need to really check it out. Well, we all know that the clitoris is actually a penis, so.
Right. Okay, so take the two little flaps that kind of look like a flattened out scrotum there. And,
Well, let's not get too clinical here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where's the love, man? Where's
okay,
the love?
I'm sorry. The love is when you put your tongue right in between and underneath those things.
Oh,
right?
I see, and that's.
And then give it a little suction there and apply a little pressure so that the clitoris rubs up against the roof of your mouth, like that.
Well, I don't.
And if just
So
continue
what you're essentially saying is that you need to just do some study time.
a little bit of study time, and then
kind of figure it out.
Practice trying things that you think that you would like. If you were in that position, and if you get to rubbing
some things don't
your
really.
mouth like that, wrap your arms around the legs and hang on.
Yeah, but some of those things don't really line up with me. Unless I got them blown off in Vietnam, I have trouble kind of seeing where they all apply. Plus, as far as the female anatomy, there's so many parts of it that are kind of numb. I mean, it don't have a lot of nerve endings, not a whole lot of feeling. Some stuff does, some stuff doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, we think it's all just equally as sensitive, and it's not like that.
Not at all.
Right.
Right.
So I think the best thing to do is, not you make an inspection, necessarily the inspection, but how about just asking a question? Hey, does that hurt? How about that?
I feel a little weird if somebody wanted to do an inspection on me. Hold on a minute, I want to check things
Then
out.
put a sticker on you that expires a year from then.
Yeah.
No, well, hey.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you get rejected because you got a hole in your tailpipe.
That must be repaired.
Yeah, can't pass you. Right. Well, you do that sometimes. I think you need to do that with all partners. You need just to kind of, if you got somebody you've been with for a long time, check them out. Know their stuff. Just in case you ever shown a mug shot of it, you can identify it. Well, this is all we have of the victim.
Oh, you mean like when they have the things for the children at the mall on Saturday to take their picture and identify them before the bad man comes? Not if the bad man's going to come. The bad man will come eventually and take them away. It just makes them easier to identify.
Well, let's say, the victim had their face obliterated and no teeth, so they can't go on dental records. And they said, all we got is a picture of this. You recognize that? See, like someone like Daryl there, of course, has a schematic at home, and he knows exactly what it is.
Really?
He's already, graphed the whole damn thing. He's put it all out. He knows it all. Right here is your main fault line.
Wow, that was really cool of Jerry Jones to call before camp starts.
I know. Guy said it like that.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Kelley has traffic.
Just a minor accident. Eastbound 410 at the airport is starting to clear at this time, and there's a disabled vehicle westbound 410 before Harry Wurzbach on the right side, causing traffic to slow. This traffic is brought to you by Rent-A-Tire, where you can rent to own tires and wheels. 2 locations, 813 Bandera and 11709 Parambital.
I always like shows like this because this is when the salespeople get nervous at this radio station because they think that this bike shop that they just signed.
Yeah.
So they can, this bike shop can run 4 commercials a month.
I'll bet Chris Hall's already gone through a pack of cigarettes.
I know. They think that, the guy at the bike shop is going to hear this show and flip. Thought you said they were very recreational. Well,
the new Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Playland for children that's opening.
A mother's dream. Maternity wear for the young at heart. They're just on. Oh, it's all connected, ain't it? Look, we're just human beings.
I am not an animal.
Think about it, man. You got people in third world nations that are like doing each other in a hut with their 16 children all around them. They're right there. They don't say, go to your room. They're all in the same room. How do they have the 16?
I don't know. Ask Reggie White.
Nice line.
He knows.
Is it like they go out to the third world playground and they do it on they do the Buffalo Man on the swing set? They have sex. It's a function, people do that. Here we got to have everything right. Mood music and, the oils and the... How are they doing it over there? They're in some corrugated tin shack. With not only their 16 kids, they grandparents, great-grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
They're all there. Curry thick in the air. They're knocking it out. All these things. I'm talking gonkers, too.
Yep.
Right there.
Reproducing in Botswana.
Tomorrow on the Lisle Hahn Show. 7:39, the news is being brought to you by Titan Insurance. Titan Auto Insurance for fast quotes and friendly service. Call 1-800-TIGHTEN-UP for 3 convenient locations in the San Antonio area. Call them today. Here's Mr. Hahn.
It's KISS, and in the news this morning, our top story, will the Minnesota Vikings move to San Antonio? Elsewhere, a major water main break downtown kept SAW's work crews moss busy overnight, having cut off water supplies to a city block that includes a hotel. That hotel would be the St. Anthony's, which says it does have an emergency water supply that could last up to 7 hours or so. In the meantime, around the metro, news media from across the country and tabloid show producers converge in New Braunfels as the murder trial of 20-year-old David Graham begins. The former Air Force cadet accused of helping kill a then 16-year-old girl in the Fort Worth area in 1995. Graham's former girlfriend, Diane Zamora, already having been convicted of helping carry out that murder. Zamora sentenced to life in prison. As the summer movie season shifts into high gear, the totals are in, and Armageddon rules at the ticket window, doing $54 million in business since it opened last Wednesday, the second most popular choice being Dr. Dolittle Mulan third. And word that Pearl Jam had a guest on stage at their show in Dallas over the 4th of July weekend. That guest would be a shirtless, shoeless, apparently drunk Dennis Rodman, who then reportedly tried a sing-along on stage, to which Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder supposedly told Rodman on stage that it looked like he'd been drinking for days. Now, my question when I caught wind of this was he invited on stage?
No, he just jumped up there.
He just decided to get up there and do his thing, huh? So maybe he was, I assumed that he was backstage, that he was chumming with his homies there, and then wandered past security and did his thing.
As far as I know, that's what he did. He just kind of decided to. I heard that he leapt on stage.
Yeah, I heard he jumped.
And he had the bottle of wine and he was going crazy.
See, maybe he didn't get enough attention during the basketball season, and he feels compelled to pull stunts like this in the offseason.
He's a fan, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, speaking of fans, it's the annual Major League Baseball All-Star Game tonight for baseball fans on at 7 on NBC, and it's down to the semifinals in World Cup play this afternoon at 2, Brazil versus the Netherlands on both ESPN and Univision. And it occurred to me just the other day that today we are precisely 2 months away from the first NFL game that will be an exhibition game. No, not an exhibition, the regular season. First regular season game. Camps converge next week already.
It's September, isn't it?
So it shan't be long till the football season is back upon us. A partly cloudy day, not a whole lot of clouds, actually, and look for a high approaching 100 again today. Got up to 102 yesterday. Currently 81 here at 99.5 KISS.
It's Roxanne the Police. 746 is the Lisle Hahn Show. It's Topic Tuesday, and today's topic, your sex secrets, your special sexual techniques. Those things that you developed over the years, share them with us. Maybe we'll all learn something here. And if you got a question about something, and kind of like Jennifer earlier this hour, then you can call in. If we know anything, of course, we'll say something. But if we don't know anything, maybe someone else will call in and answer your questions, help you out just a little bit here. There is so much naivete when it comes to sex stuff. It's amazing. You would think with the plethora of all the information that's out there, there's so much stuff about sex, we all know it, that we would all be more informed, but just because the material is available doesn't mean to really take it in and digest it and understand it. It's best to ask questions.
Well, a lot of times people are a little embarrassed to ask questions, especially with your partner,
Why would you be embarrassed to ask questions of your partner, though?
I don't know. I think I've been embarrassed in the past because it makes me feel like very naive and very young, and I don't want to have that feeling when I'm in the bedroom with someone.
Well, don't they know that anyhow? If they kind of know you, wouldn't they know that your naivete, wouldn't it kind of poke through in other areas?
They would know that, but I guess I'm a little stubborn when it comes to admitting that I don't know something.
Like, someone has to start it.
Right.
And if somebody starts it, then I think there can be some give and take so that ask questions. But someone does have to start it. Maybe the third wheel could start it. Start asking the questions. But okay, if you had a question, if you had a question of a partner, what would it be? What would you want to know? As the color slowly enters into your face.
Yeah. What is the most sensitive part of a man's penis as far as stimulation? Because, it's nothing you're ever really taught, but it's like when you want to concentrate on something or please somebody, you ask me about a woman, I can show you general direction.
Yeah, but if it's the most, that's the whole thing, even on the woman, if that's the most sensitive part, you don't necessarily want to overly pay too much attention to that, right?
Right.
Because you get worn out.
Right.
It's like, stop.
Right.
It's too sensitive for you to be spending that much time on it there. Right?
Yeah, it gets a little tired.
Now think about
venture to other areas.
If you were loaded, what would be the most sensitive part? You would think.
I always thought it was the very top.
The very top.
Yes.
Oh, is that where the very top at the very end? You mean that's called the glands?
Okay.
They're at the end, right?
Yeah.
And I would think that you would find that anywhere around that region or just underneath would be the most sensitive.
But is there like a spot on a man?
I could be willing to show you, but I don't want to be too forward here. I would be willing to show you.
You can draw it for me. But I always wondered, is there a spot on a man?
Spot?
Like a woman. Okay, you have your clitoris. Is a definite spot where you hit that. There's going to be usually a great deal of pleasure. But is there a spot like that on a man?
I wouldn't think so, universally speaking, because the whole thing is that if your clitoris is your penis, then you know which one is ours.
Right.
So when yours is blood engorged or enraged, the hitchhiker's thumb is there. Then same thing here. You can see it there.
You got to work the whole area.
Yeah. So there's a lot involved there. Yeah, and it's going to be different for each person. So that's what reason why you need to ask them. Same thing with women. What one woman wants, another woman doesn't want. Their sensitivity is different. So you just can't feel like you got it licked and do the exact same thing, because some people don't want that. They're all different, so you have to kind of find out. And most people rely on nonverbal cues, but even nonverbal cues aren't honest, because someone will say something because they think, or moan or groan or move because they think they should react. After a while, you feel like you can maybe separate the fakers from those that are being real with you as far as nonverbal cues, but that doesn't always happen either. Because there's so many little silly games that get played, right? Then again, no one wants to fill their sex life with all these directions either. Do this, don't do that. Stop, that's enough.
Yeah,
okay,
you
now
don't
do
wanna
this,
seem like
over
you're
here,
being
do that.
bossy.
Right, because that's one of the most fun things for a lot of people. One of the most fun things for a lot of people is to be able just to collapse into a world where they consist only of feelings and no words, right? Mm-hmm. Where you just kind of melt into something, right?
Yeah.
So that's always the challenge. Right? So either you're into the perfunctory task of just kind of, okay, there it is. Did you get off? I get off. That's it. All right, good night. Or that kind of the world of the cool white sheets and, nice music and just kind of floating.
Fresh bounce smell. Yeah, and that music's important to set the tone.
Oh,
man.
no, it's you now. I was sitting there looking at Kelley. I had a romantic moment going, and then all of a sudden the interloper came into play, right? Yeah, it's Steve, the frisky mailman. Hey, she likes gray flannel. Open up.
I brought the buffalo position.
Buffalo man is here.
You
Open
missed
up.
a Buffalo Man suggestion from a listener earlier this morning.
Right.
Now we got another one up there, huh?
Yeah, that's Big Christopher. Hey, Christopher.
Hey, what's going on this morning?
How are you? Hey. You ever lick the alphabet, Christopher?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
Have you ever tried the pen light on the genitalia like, what was his name, Daryl was talking about there a little while ago?
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried that either.
You could try take a cue from the coal miners and put on one of those coal miners helmets with a light on top.
Yeah,
you could do
right.
that. In fact, you want to take a canary with you, too, because if it dies, well, you run.
Canary in a coal mine.
Hurry, get out, baby.
She's got the funk, bro.
Right. All right, what's your little technique, Christopher?
Well, me and my friends were messing around, and I left the apartment to get some more beer, and they found one of the examination gloves I had in my apartment for no reason, but they put some water in it and froze it and stuck it in the freezer, and it froze in like a two-finger position. And one night during sex, I remembered it, and I got up and got it out of the freezer and used it.
I mean, on your
For
buddies
what?
or
Girlfriend, right?
No, my girlfriend.
Yeah, okay.
I bet it looked like that hamburger helper hand in the ads on television.
How many fingers does that thing have?
Four. It's only got four fingers, that
four.
hamburger helper hand. This one had two.
What do you think a hamburger helper is?
Right. Which two fingers?
It was the pointer finger and the middle finger.
Oh, the index finger and the middle finger.
Yes.
Those two. And the thumb was just kind of where?
Excuse me?
Where was the thumb?
Oh, they're all folded up.
All
Oh,
folded up there.
Use another one and fold two around the first one, and you can use it in traffic.
So you're like giving her the Bob Dole. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what they call it, man.
Frozen
that's
dole.
the-
with it, but
That's the frozen dole.
Look at Stevie. There again, there's a term for everything, isn't there?
and the answer to the lady's question there, it's the ring around the penis that is the most sensitive.
Yeah, see, that's it for you, man.
Well, I mean, I've asked some of my friends. I mean, we sit down and we're really in touch with our femininity, and we sit down and have these talks every once in a while, and they both agree with us.
What are you in touch with? Excuse me?
Feminality.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys talk about these things, huh?
Yes, we do.
See, mine used to be there, but now it's so calloused that I can't feel a damn thing there. Right? I strike kitchen matches on it all the time. Yeah, light. That's what I do. You and your buddies, I talk about this stuff, huh? Those are the same buddies that got your latex glove and put it in the freezer, right?
Well, them and some other buddies.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking a question here, Christopher, because I feel like we're buddies now.
No, go ahead.
You said that they found one of your latex examination gloves that you use for a different purpose. What the hell were you using the latex examination glove for?
No, I was in the hospital and I stole a whole bunch of them.
Oh, I see.
It's always good to stock up on those when
the
you're
examination
bedridden.
gloves.
Yeah.
Those and those styrofoam pitchers and the flexible straws. Steal whatever you can. You paid for it all.
Damn right.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Christopher.
Oh, you're welcome. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
Is that like ring around the collar?
I don't know. I already hung up on the guy. You could have asked him that. All right, now here are other guys. I love this. As guys continue to call in to tell Kelley the most sensitive parts of their penis.
Seems as if the focus has shifted
I know!
towards Kelley.
That could have been our topic. It's Topic Tuesday. Today's topic. Kelley wants to know
About your thingy.
Where is it most sensitive?
Tell Kelley about your thing.
Hey, baby.
Only $5.99 a minute.
All right, Brian.
As we profit from Kelley's misfortune.
Because that's not the topic. The topic is just your special sexual techniques. Why? What did you want to say, Brian? What did you want to tell her?
Well, I was going to tell her the most sensitive spot is not the ring around the collar, but just below the ring.
Just below the ring. That's for this guy. See, everybody has
Everybody's
a
different, huh?
Right.
Ring around the collar.
But you're getting in the region there.
Yeah, that's the right region.
Yeah.
So
You're
like the underside of the mushroom.
you're in the zone. Yeah. Nothing better than
That's the right zone.
long red nails doing this. Right there. Yeah.
Got it.
All right. That's it. See, you gotta quit. You got to be able to listen to me talk about that, Kelley, without scrunching up your face and having the embarrassed schoolgirl laughter. Because too much of that, and Stevie starts getting turned on.
Let's see. She finds it the ickier Kelley finds it to be.
Right. Yeah, the ickier
more
she finds it to be.
The happier it makes Mr. Happy.
Yeah, Mr. Hahn happy over there.
Mr. Wiggly.
Mons Furrow.
Mons, the secrets of Mons Furrow. And the secret.
Still to come.
So you got to fork over what you know first. 470 KISS.
I know.
It's 8 o'clock and this is KISS FM San Antonio. Oh, Scotty. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Uncle Johnny, what's going on?
Just hanging out, trying to get women to call, man. That's
All
what
righty.
it's all about, Get women to call.
Well, I've got one for Kelley. Tell her she needs to have her man do this every time. It works every time if a lady's looking for an O.
An O?
An orgasm.
Oh, okay, an organism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
What you do is you take your left arm and you put it around their shoulder,
Right.
and kind of do the junior high over the shoulder boulder holder,
Yeah.
and just start working that nipple.
Yeah.
Then what you do is you start working the other one with your mouth,
Yeah.
and then the finale is with your free right hand. So you have your free right hand.
Yeah.
You start working the genitalia.
Yeah, you shake that all about, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around.
And let's just say I've never had a failure with this technique. Works every time.
Well, Scott, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but it seems to me that's pretty much common procedure for probably, I'd say, 110% of the male population.
Really? See, I thought I invented that.
Yeah. Suck on this one, caress that one, and there's free hand roaming. I mean, that's
there you go.
Pretty much. That way, you
Yeah.
can run it right up the middle, or you can go out for the bomb.
So are you saying I was out there doing things that have already been done?
Well, I don't mean to bring you down or anything, Scott, but this 12-year-old kid told me the same thing the other day.
Right. We call that the Tom Landry, what you were just doing. Yeah.
Well-
Tom, of course, introduced that to the scheme of things a long time ago.
Well, I was a 26-year-old virgin when I got married, so I guess that's maybe why I didn't know about it.
It's okay, man.
That's all right. No, you're sharing, and that's appreciated.
See, the thing is that like trying to start a fire with a couple of sticks? You're saying, look, I saw it on TV. You just rub these things together long enough, eventually there's a fire. I mean, are you sitting there kind of, and the other one doing the little tweaky, and then sitting your hands down there, and you're saying, okay, here we go. This will jumpstart her.
That pretty
So
much
get her
does
going.
it.
Yeah, but that's all right. I mean, as far as foreplay goes, I think women need more of it. I definitely spend a lot of time on the foreplay because I find that a lot of guys my age they don't. You want the big O every time? Spend some time on the foreplay. Give us more foreplay.
That's what you're
Caressing,
supposed-
kissing,
Yeah.
touching.
All right.
Well, see, I'm doing 3 at once.
How about just
You're
kind of
supposed to do
thumping your ears and stuff?
Yeah, thump the earlobe
You
thump.
thump the earlobe, then you won't be thumping anything else.
Who doesn't enjoy foreplay?
I don't know. I just seen I guess it's the guys at my age or younger. They skip over it a
They
lot of
do?
times. They're going straight for,
No.
hey, let's have sex.
Can you
How much foreplay are you giving the guy?
I love foreplay, because for me,
Yeah.
maybe it's because I got the girl inside of me, whatever.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's very much.
Wait a minute.
yeah, well, you know,
Wait a minute. The girls inside you.
Maybe it's because I'm female, but I'm very much about setting the mood, getting the music right, lighting the candles, getting the bedroom ready.
I know, but you can't always
and stuff like
do
that.
that.
But then it's about kissing, caressing, holding, touching. I don't just all of a sudden want to, go straight for sex because it's not as enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, what do you do?
Get out. Get away.
No, but I agree with you, Kelley. So much of it is mood and sensory perception, because, see, music's very important. And let's say this kind of music right here, that essentially is what they play during soap operas when something really nasty's fixing to happen. When you hear the saxophones in the soap opera, somebody's going to get it and get it good.
Wow. You're going to lock the door? Come on, man. It's a soap opera. We never lock the doors.
No, because anybody can walk in at any time for any reason.
Hey, I'm cheating on my husband with you, but, I'm not going to lock the door.
See, here's a little tip for you, gents. What I like to do in the way of mood music, once you get, you get settled and you put on something that'll really, man, get her going. Something like, say, there's this great white song called Mr. Bone. Try that or Brad's I Really Want to Make It With You.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. So, are you still with the woman that you've been with all this time?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And tell Uncle Stevie there Kashmir works the best out of the 70s tunes.
Kashmir.
Oh, yeah.
We brought that up here. Remember one day on the show, and I talked about Kashmir as a good song?
We had a lady who said it was her favorite.
It's her favorite, but she had never had sex to Kashmir, and so I brought that up to her.
Yeah, there was some professor here locally that said that rock music has it set to the beat of sex.
That was a guy that was at a UTSA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, I remember that.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Uncle Johnny. Appreciate it.
All right, there's
Thanks
Scott.
for the call, Scott.
Scott and his wife, man, anxiously await the arrival of Reader's Digest each and every month, hoping there's going to be another sex tip in there.
Boy. Scott doing the Kurt Gowdy on his wife.
Of course, the Kurt Gowdy.
Yeah, the master of the obvious.
Oh. Yeah, right. I got you. 6 after 8, 100 to 103 today. Kurt Gowdy, old sportscaster on TV. Kurt Gowdy.
Oh, I thought he was a magician or something.
Name instantly recognizable to millions of people. Right. Yeah. Who was this? I'm glad I can't look at some of you when you're talking about these things. That makes it so much better when we deal only with voices. RC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you are. Were you the guy that called back about Kelley and foreplay? And
yeah.
Do you really enjoy foreplay?
Yeah, I enjoy hours of it before you really get excited. Get her all wound up.
Hours of foreplay.
Yes.
You got that kind of free time, huh?
Usually after 11, 12 o'clock. Yeah, why not?
You don't feel like you spoil her with those hours of foreplay where she's always going to expect the hours of foreplay?
Man,
That's
really?
good.
Yeah.
That's
well.
So, I mean, this must be heartfelt. You're not just faking it? Like
No,
getting it
I'm
over
serious.
with?
No, it's I enjoy it because you sit there and watch them moan and groan, and the anxiety level builds for them, and they're begging you for it.
But don't
You're just like,
Oh, begging you. That's what
Yeah.
you want.
But don't the
Yeah.
other people at the water park complain?
not usually. They usually enjoy watching. You always hang out, Stevie. You know that.
Yeah, they're on the languid Congo, kind of enjoying each
Some
other.
kind of bond.
Oh, wow, yeah, this water sure is warm.
Then you get their head and you kind of massage their scalp, your toes, their feet, back of their legs, everything. You just kind of work them out.
Head to toe.
Really?
Head to toe, the best part's when you're on your stomach and I'm rubbing your back, the inside of your thighs, your buttock,
Yeah.
your calves.
That's the hill
Now,
country.
what are you going to do to Kelley?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty relaxed
Stop
right
it,
now.
John. You said you'd never tell, man.
That's it. What you're describing is that hill country Kama Sutra.
You got that,
They
good
call
buddy.
it hill country Kami Sutri, I have to believe.
Called tongue in cheek.
Thank you, RC.
All righty. Give me a call, Kelley. Bye.
Oh, getting solicited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Play your little mood music for RC.
Bet you RC wants to know about Mons Furrow.
And the secret.
That's still to come sometime.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show.
And Cricket Soccer Report, too.
Right.
So,
well, 470 Kids, it's Topic Tuesday. Your sex secrets, your techniques. What makes you such a good lover? Get to brag this morning on the show, 470 Kids. Fuel's Shimmer. Yes. The album is Sunburn. That's Fuel, San Antonio's rock station. It's 8:12. It's the Lisle Hahn Show, and we're talking about sex today, specifically what you do. You know, we can always have these people up here shills for their overpriced videotapes and whatnot. And the reason I do, because you might think, well, Johnny, you're being a hypocrite again, is because it doesn't matter. I can put anybody up here that purports to be whoever, and you call. If they say I got a book, a tape, an audio cassette, then you call, and then I get to have a kind of an entertaining show about sex. Yes, sir. Is there a problem?
No, I'm just pissed off at technology. That's
okay. Sorry. So that's the reason why, I get them up here once in a while. So at least I'm always hoping that maybe that'll be it. That we get them up here and they talk about it, and then you just feel like you can talk about it whenever you want to. But I know it's difficult for you. But I thought this would give you a chance to actually share the things that you've developed, techniques that you've developed. Maybe you've taken a commonly known technique, put your own spin on it, and it's really good. And there are plenty of people that like to learn because they don't know.
Yeah, if it works well, share with the rest of us.
They don't really know. You got the nibble, nibble, kissy, kissy missionary thing. Okay, that's it. Let's watch TV. That's probably sex for 90% of the population. SOP, baby. For 90% of the population. That's it. Now, certainly foreplay is going to be more essential when you're about 70 and you can't get your hands on any Viagra. Right? See, for guys, the reason why foreplay is not so essential is because, if you're able to get an erection pretty fast, basically by, hey, just look at me. Okay, that's done for me. Now you. It's done. I'm ready to go. It's like I'm going to explode over here. Don't touch me too much. I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah, but you need to give the ladies a little time. We need more foreplay. What could you do for a guy for foreplay?
Well,
I mean, besides kissing and...
Well,
Yeah.
Right.
What else could you do?
I think what else could you do?
Yeah, what else
See,
could
that's
you do
the reason
for
why
foreplay?
that's the reason why I asked you this.
Yeah.
Specifically, because I wanted to know when you were talking about foreplay, were you talking about more things that are done to you, where you're just lying back and it's like Queen for a day, and the guy's doing all these different things to you to get you finally, to feeling like it's like you're ready, or is it reciprocal?
No,
I mean, are you
it's
doing
reciprocal.
things?
Yeah.
I think essentially the same kinds of stuff.
But like, what else could you do for a guy? I mean, there's got to be other stuff that you could do besides the putting things in your mouth.
Well, you don't even go that far. You don't go that far. You don't even do that. I would think that you would just, you could sit there and kiss and caress all over the body, and that's the whole thing. The tease is so much there that you're going to feel like you're going to go crazy, and then that's it. Look at the toes, man. When you start seeing those toes kind of bend down,
curly,
over, curl up, and stuff like that, then you know somebody's going crazy. And then if you're a guy and you feel like your spine just got bent, somebody went and grabbed your spine and just kind of, not your backbone, but because it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go crazy.
It is something else, man. That's like just like what this Cambodian chick did for me when I was in Nam.
Nam being what, that trailer on Highway 90 years ago?
Oh, it's the one on the way to Austin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. You time up, you go.
But that's the same thing. Usually it's good just to tell, and guys, they respond to just hearing how incredible they are, how virile they are,
yeah,
how, wonderful they are, how strong they are.
You gotta lie a lot. That's what he's saying.
Right.
Right. Well, like, with my boyfriend, I have him kiss me all over.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just talking about, stimulation in certain parts, all over, head to toe, fingers, toes, everything. And it just doesn't seem like it has the same effect on a man that it does for a woman.
Well, because he may not like that sort of thing, but there's something else that he likes, and he just needs to be able to tell you. If you get this, I don't know, then he needs some more self-discovery. In other words, that may be something you really like, and all of a sudden, someone's sucking on his fingers. He doesn't like that. Yeah. It makes him feel funny.
Let me go ask him if that's
true. Man
true.
Needs to relax, right? Maybe you should. Is Sonny still on a break, or is he able to talk right now?
He doesn't share well.
Yeah. She's always been partial to, like, circus characters.
It's the hair.
Right, I know it is. Like it combines with your own just to have some incredible bush going on there. Check this out. This is from information that we have. In the 16th century, we're talking the 1500s, it was considered elegant for aristocratic ladies, okay, to let their pubic hair grow as long as possible. So it could be adorned with bows and ribbon. So that's in the 1500s. We're not talking that long ago. You know, when all of a sudden you'd be like the Don King look down there.
In reverse.
Yeah, and that would be a big thing. You know, to have it groomed and ribboned and braided. And you just have to close your eyes and kind of imagine what that scene would look like.
That would denote royalty of some kind?
Yes. Yes, the aristocratic ladies could do that. I guess, you know, when you're hanging out and
your
serfdom's bringing you, cabbages every day and
somebody else is
living off of their
you.
labor, and then you get bored. There's nothing else to do.
No.
There's no MTV.
No. Call the Royal Weaver.
Right? And then they're in there with the bows and everything else. But just imagine that look when you unfurled that sort of thing.
Wow.
Right. It'd be like, oh, my God, I'm like screwing Billy Gibbons.
Wow.
What the hell is that?
It's called the King's Taster.
How? Well, in 14th century Europe, high-ranking noblemen were permitted to display their genitals below a short tunic, while those not impressively endowed could, if they chose, wear a leather falsie called a brochette.
A brochette?
A brochette.
Oh, okay, because the brochette is an oyster with bacon wrapped around it.
This is a brochette.
Yeah.
That's what that would be. So that wasn't all that long ago either. You'd have the short tunic, and then, there you are.
That wouldn't be very fair.
What do you mean it wouldn't be fair?
The leather falsie?
Leather
That's
falsie.
what you think you're going to get.
Well, you deal with it. Maybe you want to display yours a little bit, too.
Yeah, get the tunic.
Right. Okay, now... Hey, Susan.
Yes.
Now, is this a sexual technique of yours that you've developed, or?
Yeah, actually, I usually do that during foreplay.
During foreplay, what do you do?
Well,
Watch yourself now. I mean, nice language here.
I know. Well, personally, I like to give him a lot of foreplay. Because just like the man likes to listen to the woman moan and groan, well, I like to listen to that too, and that to me turns me on more than anything. And then, of course, he likes to watch me give foreplay to myself while I'm giving him foreplay.
What do you mean? You mean touch yourself?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So he likes to watch you touch yourself?
While I'm giving him foreplay.
Yeah.
And
Why, administering like a fellatio or something? And you're touching yourself. In other words, you're like recreating a porno movie for him almost.
Yeah, I've wanted to do that.
But what is this up there? He likes me to play with his ass.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was kind of, I've never experienced that with any other man, but he really likes it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, we always drink tons of water, and I always fill mine up with ice. And I'll always put a big ice cube in my mouth.
And
And,
yeah, I know what you're talking. Ooh, yeah.
He really
a big
likes
ice cube, and yeah.
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 And the big thing is, whenever we go driving around, I think that's kind of old, but he still likes that.
Oh, when you're driving around, huh?
Yeah.
These Texas highways, there's nothing else to do, especially when the wildflowers aren't in
Long
season.
straightaways.
Just don't mess with Texas.
Well, we mess a lot with Texas. We like to go out into the hill country and stuff.
Oh, you're messing with Texas.
Women are more creative autoeroticists, and they masturbate more frequently when in a stable relationship.
Really? Because
Supposedly. Because I guess you're just feeling so comfortable and alive, then there you are.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we feel really comfortable. I feel more comfortable with him than I ever have.
I wish somehow I could. I'm trying to understand what you were talking about. Is there any way you could come up here and just kind of demonstrate for us, so that we could see what it is you were talking about? I think it would help Kelley out a whole lot.
Maybe we could both demonstrate for you.
We'll have a limo come pick you up.
Right. I just want you can demonstrate for Kelley and then play with my ass. Because I'm trying to figure out that part.
And I can watch.
Are we going to need a block of ice, or would an ice cube be okay?
Oh, I'm sure that'll be just fine.
Yeah, orange flavored Jello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stick that in the ice cube. There it is.
Stevie's got some sucrets and
and I'll tell you what I'll do with those with you when you get here, Susan.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Excuse me?
She's gonna come up here, bring breakfast.
Oh, listen to you. All you care about is food.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Man, and all Susan cares about is ice cubes.
So how old are you? I'm just curious.
I'm 25.
25. And you like to make him so his pleasure is more important than your own. Or you get all this pleasure out of knowing that you're kind of driving him crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Good girl.
Yeah, I know.
How old is he?
He is 26.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank goodness he didn't say 44. I would have felt cheated.
Just wouldn't seem fair, would it?
No, it wouldn't be right.
Right.
No.
Yeah, now, I mean, is this something you do all the time when you have sex with this guy? Wait, does it get old? It's like, okay, now you're going to do this to me while you're, messing with yourself. Here we go again.
No,
And he'd like to talk, but he's got like one boob in his mouth, and he's got a
left
hand
hand around the shoulder, and the other one's groping and groping.
Yeah.
Actually, we try and, I pretty much think that we vary a lot as to positions and things like that, and what we do to excite one another. Sometimes we can have sex without even touching each other, and I think that that's the biggest turn on.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible experience, huh?
Yeah.
I think it'll drive someone crazy. Don't let him touch you at all.
Or like when he turns off his flashlight. All right, quits his examination process.
You don't let him touch you. You get in that Spanish conquistador outfit.
Oh, and I'm Spanish.
Oh.
I bet you, man, she knows the fly.
Oh, the conquistadores.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Conquistadores?
Oh, but she knows the Indio.
Yeah, the conquistadora. You conquistadori. All right. Hey, Leslie, what's your secret?
I went and had my tongue pierced.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You
And he seems to enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, he enjoyed it before, but he has no complaints.
So you got the barbell there? And you keep that in all the time?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
That's a big price to pay just for those few moments.
Ain't it, though?
Isn't it?
No, not really. If you love somebody. I mean, he didn't ask me to do it, so.
All right. Well, you speak very well with it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I could never even tell.
No?
That's the fun of the Yeah, you sound great.
Okay.
So does he think it makes a big difference?
Yeah, he's noticed it. I mean, like I say, he enjoyed it before, but he seems to enjoy it a lot more now.
So I could never love anybody, I don't think, enough to actually put a hole in my tongue.
Well, I had wanted to have it done before.
Oh, okay.
But, I
You
mean,
wanted
that
it
wasn't
anyway.
the only reason that I had it done. I don't self-mutilate myself for just anybody.
Okay, not for just anyone.
No, I did it for myself too, but.
You did it for the senator. Thank you, Wendy.
Why do you think Phil Graham's so energetic these days?
Yeah, man, if somebody wants to do that now, it's like, no, hey, man, you can't do that unless you got that ball in your tongue. Ooh, that would feel icky otherwise. Ooh, hey, you can't do that to me, man. You can get the ball in there. Then we'll talk.
Yeah, right.
Get away.
Listen to you. That seems so unnatural.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, God.
Get away from there till you get the ball on your tongue.
Come on. God. Your sex secrets. 470-KISS. It's 8:25. Let's get up. Wow, some advice for you, Kelley. I guess we got to have our advice music. It's 8:30.
Bring it.
About 103 today. Bring it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I guess I'm okay. I'm glad that a few ladies are calling in.
Well, I had some advice for Kelley and other women who find fellatio disgusting, or that either they're just not informed enough, or they haven't tried it enough, or they're kind of scared of it.
Right.
I think a good way to start for women who really aren't comfortable with it is to get like pudding, which isn't too. It's creamy. It's cool.
But it's not
too
too
sticky.
icky. Mm-hmm.
And something you like. And start first with your partner by taking a shower, getting clean, so you feel clean with the person. Tell them what you want to do, because if they care about you, they're going to be understanding. Start with their hands, start with their nipples, down their stomach. Get your mind thinking about the pudding and the person and what they're enjoying before you just go straight to the organ. and then work your way down. And you don't have to take them all the way with your mouth. I mean, just try licking and playing and getting comfortable with it, and they'll be excited enough. At least it's a start, and it gets you introduced where you're not totally turned off immediately.
You know, I'm trying to follow for Kelley because I know she's going to ask me later. I mean, she is a product of the New Hampshire public school system, and I know she's going to ask me later, what exactly does she mean? I didn't quite understand. Is there any way, Sandra, that you could come and demonstrate?
How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
This way you can have your pudding and eat your meat.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes, Pink Floyd.
And it doesn't have to be pudding. It could be something, but you want it not too sticky, kind of cool. It could be peanut butter. It could be whatever you like. No, well, I wouldn't go there.
That's it. I mean, it's just slathered in toonie.
Or ice cream. You know, people always say ice cream, but ice cream's hard. You need to soften it up and make it more like soft serve.
Soft serve ice cream.
See, this icky word, that's entrenched in the female vocabulary, isn't it?
Icky?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
how we describe. And another thing you asked earlier about gag reflexes, you can practice in the restroom when you brush your teeth. A toothbrush is a good way because you know how if you get your toothbrush too far back, you gag?
Yeah.
It's all muscle control. And the more you practice, the better it gets.
Wow.
Sandra's wise beyond her years.
I'm just having a tough time understanding even the toothbrush thing. You don't mind. You're very far away from the radio station. We're over here at Windcrest.
Actually, I am. I'm on the other side of town.
Oh, okay, Chuck. And you want to send the prize patrol over there to get her? To get the prize pick patrol?
I'm way ahead of you there, dude.
Oh, they're on the way now, Sandra.
Look for the pink Volvo.
No problem.
No, that's a pink.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
Pink.
I was thinking something
Volkswagen
else.
Bug.
Right, I didn't know what it was. You know what he was gonna. I thought that's what you said. You know this.
That's the pink vulva. That's another.
Yeah, right.
That's a whole nother technique. I'll tell you, man. You don't need any of this pudding and all this other stuff. Once you have a man do the Mons furrow, all their inhibitions go out the door.
I'm interested.
I'll bet you are. You'll just have to see my infomercial on Saturday morning.
Hey, look, it's coming out of this guy. You know it involves something with, like rotted bologna and candy corn and
brace yourself, huh?
Right. Brace
I'm
yourself.
not sure I'm ready for that.
Yeah, but you might want to pull a trash can close to you.
Well, and the other thing, best advice I can give anybody is if you're with a partner and they say, I really like it if you do this. If it's something simple, it doesn't involve animals or blood, do it. Because it works, and they're telling you. And if they're going to be honest enough to give you advice, take it.
Right.
It's a common sense person right here.
Yeah. I have trouble understanding your common sense. I think I need to, examine it more closely.
You're going to get thrown out of the conspiracy meeting if you keep this up, Sandra.
Yeah.
I've never been in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to have your picture there at the Dome when they meet this month.
This is the enemy.
You're wanted. Traitor.
You're right, I am.
And we know why now.
All right.
Thank you,
I need
Sandra.
to get going.
Thanks, Sandra.
Oh, no, I hung up on you first.
We love you, sister.
Jeez.
You squeaked by on that one.
Yeah, I did. I got her first.
1-1 today.
Well, I have to. One more here.
Had to be running along.
8:35. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
You're not the same Jennifer from earlier, are you?
No.
Okay. So do you have a little sexual technique you want to share with us?
Yeah, I don't really have a name for it. I guess for lack of a better name, you might call it the squeeze, and it's kind of a twist on the female superior position. And
don't you worry, Stevie will name it.
My boyfriend will kind of open his legs up enough to let me lie straight in between them, and while he's still inside me, you can just squeeze your thighs together and he'll feel the pressure. But you don't want to squeeze too hard because, it might be painful, but we kind of use it as a finale. It's just something to...
your finale. Oh.
Wow, so you're doing the nightcap.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. After a little highball, you get to the nightcap.
I thought we discovered something new.
I'll tell you what, Jennifer, you do the Buffalo Man before you do the nightcap.
And he'll be screaming for the Mons furrow.
I didn't know.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, what?
They all kind of connected. I didn't know you. Man, well, that's a night you'll not soon forget.
Oh, my God. There you have it. All right. I appreciate you guys just talking about your personal techniques.
Yeah, we got them all written down.
You do? You have them all written
in a
down?
new book.
You know all this stuff? I was a little upset there that, thinking that is there something wrong with blood in animals? Sometimes you do these shows and you realize that other people maybe have a different opinion of what it is you enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I guess she won't be watching any Marilyn Manson videos anytime soon, huh?
No.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Kelley over there, and Kelly's going to be at Diamond Shamrock this afternoon.
Yes, she is.
Marbach at Ellison from 4 until 5 for the Doritos Pick Your Music promotion. If you have a guitar pick, bring that out for a free CD while supplies last, and you can register to win an Epiphone guitar and amp. And, of course, you can just walk inside and super grab bag of Doritos so you can get a free CD with Kelley.
Our girl Kelley, and feel free to share your Doritos with Kelley, too. Don't be peachy, man.
Here's Kelley with traffic.
We have a couple minor accidents clearing at this time. Southbound McAllister before Mulberry and another westbound 410 at Harry Watersbach. This traffic is brought to you by Lester Bedford Festival of Champions coming this Saturday to the Alamo Dome. See 4 action-packed main events featuring Jesse James Leha versus Azuma Nelson. Tickets are on sale at all Ticketmaster locations.
Big fight. Big fight, and we certainly want to see you down there on Saturday. We're going to be there, and it'd be great to fill up the place. 4 big bouts, seven champions, and Azuma Nelson and James Leha fight for the 4th time on Saturday. I mean, this is like it on the line for both these guys, really, because both of them need to, big fight. And big one for James. We want you to be there. We'd like to put you ringside for the fight. But first you have to win tickets from us. You can do that now. If you're the 9th person we talk to, 470-KISS, tell us a catchphrase. James still booked for tomorrow?
Yes, sir, as far as I know.
As far as we know.
That is going to be so fine. Just if you're going to be a part of this and you're going to be there at the Dome, when James steps into the ring, the ovation, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
Go crazy, huh? Pudding on your fingers.
James, remember what I learned?
And I think Jaime said that he comes out to that White Zombie song. That one or that other, that's that one White Zombie song.
More human than a human, more human than a human.
Already getting goosebumps.
Right. All right. It's news time, and the news is being brought to you by Glennie and Brylack. Go by the law office of Glennie and Brylack. It doesn't say what the hell it is. For a free consultation, call Glennie and Brylack, 738-8115. Here's Uncle Cousin Stevie Hahn.
I know somebody here in the news that could use Glennie or Brylack. Lots of highly hay in the normally quiet community of New Braunfels as jury selection begins in a high-profile murder trial. 20-year-old David Graham, accused of helping kill a then 16-year-old girl in the Fort Worth area. The former Air Force cadet's ex-girlfriend, Diane Zamora, already having been sentenced to life in prison in connection with that case. Here at home, a major water main break downtown causes traffic disruptions and cuts off water supplies to a downtown hotel. SAWS crews working overnight to repair the rupture that affected a city block, including the St. Anthony Hotel. In consumer news, if you own or just bought a Ford Taurus, you got plenty o' company. New sales figures out show that the Taurus to be is the number 1 selling passenger car in America these days, outdistancing the Toyota Accord, which was second best. The overall top-selling vehicle in the USA being the Ford F-Series pickup, over 80,000 having been sold in the month of June alone. Second was Chevy's CK Series truck. Excuse me. In music news, new rock and roll releases include a CD being released today from Dallas-based Tripping Daisy, scheduled for release on July 14th. A new album from Counting Crows and Seven Mary 3. July 21st, the latest from Candlebox arrives at music stores. Already there, just released. The new one from Rancid. And help is on the way to fight wildfires in Florida. Mexico is offering to send 16,000 dudes with tree branches to hit the Florida wildfires until they turn them off. Hey, don't laugh. Do you see any more smoke around here? It worked. Hey, in sports, it's the annual Midsummer Sports Classic we know and love as the Major League Baseball All-Star Game at 7 on NBC. In the World Cup semifinals today, Brazil versus the Netherlands at 2 this afternoon on ESPN and Univision. and a member of your precious Cowboys has signed with another team. And I suspect you want me to tell you who that is. I will when I feel like it. No, that got him going now.
No.
Who is it? Who could it be? Oh, it's Wade Wilson. No great loss. You know, he's played like 17 years in the NFL. He was, of course, backup QB up there in Dallas, and Wade Baby has signed with the Oakland Raiders. So that's going to leave another position for your precious Cowboys to fill in the offseason. Partly cloudy today. Look for a high in excess of 100. Right now it's 81. Here at 99.5 KISS.
Tom Petty from Full Moon Fever. It's 8:45. Who wins the All-Star game tonight, Stevie?
I think the North is going to do it.
Yeah, the blue over the gray. That's it. Who's winning the All-Star game tonight?
I just glanced briefly at, they had the home run contest yesterday, and Mark McGwire was way down there. It was Ken Griffey Jr.
Griffey, yeah.
You know, and that, I think that's the biggest thing for baseball fans right now. Of course, I mean, my bright spot is the Astros are playing, I mean, really good, which gives me, you know, cause for optimism in how they're going to do the rest of the season. And they just swung a deal. They got a real good closer, who I believe won the 7th game of the World Series last year.
But who's going to win the All-Star game tonight?
I would say I would have to go with the National League. They got more sticks.
National League, heavier hitting. So what do you think the score is going to be?
Oh, it's bound to be National League 8-3.
8-3. Write it down, Chuck.
I already did.
We'll see how that prediction fares tonight.
Yeah.
Heidi, I think, is here. Hello, Heidi.
Hi.
Hi. Heidi is a sexpert, nationally recognized, has her doctorate in sexology, and she's got some overpriced videotapes to sell to you.
That's right.
All right. How are you, Heidi?
Fine, and you?
I'm okay. I'm a little disappointed today because I really thought, I know some people have techniques because I hear about them. You know, and I think it takes someone from out of town to come up here, someone whose credentials are shaky at best, and then people feel like, oh, okay, I'm relaxed enough, I'll call and give out all this personal information. Yeah. I won't do it with Johnny and Stevie, even though we were there probably throughout the development of your genitalia. We've been in town long enough. And, you know, if you've lived here, you know, you can share it with us. We were there. You know, we're not gonna make fun of you. Hey, you don't have any special little technique, do you?
No, I don't. I'm sorry to say.
No, just don't laugh?
Right.
Is that your technique?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Just show up.
I've learned to stifle my laughs. Right. Well, congratulations. You got your fight tickets if you can give me the catchphrase.
She got the funk, bro.
She got the funk, bro.
She got the funk, bro.
Very nice.
Gusto.
And now you're in the running for ringside seats.
Great.
Who you going to take with you?
Probably my husband.
Husband. Now, does he have any special sexual technique?
No.
No?
Just showing up.
Yeah.
So basically, you guys are the basic meat and potatoes kind of couple when it comes to sex.
I guess you could say.
Little rub, kiss there, then get down to business, and then hey, that's it. You have kids?
Yes, I have a 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah. So you have to find your time to be able to do these different things.
Right.
Right. I mean, because this guy that was talking earlier this morning about 2 hours of foreplay, I was thinking, when do you find that kind of time?
Really?
Do 2 hours of foreplay. You know, if I'm in bed that long, I'm out. I got to take advantage of it when I'm there.
It's too comfortable.
It's like, my God, I'm in bed, a couple hours. I'm sorry, I gotta go ahead and go to sleep. It's tough to do all that other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you and your husband need to maybe take a little step into the backyard and try the Buffalo Man.
Buffalo. You have a swing set?
No.
They
Get
got a
one.
swing set first, Stevie, to do the Buffalo Man. Right. I mean, you guys have enough. Does your husband engage in foreplay long enough for you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long is that? I think you're just lying just to make him look good.
God, I hope he's not listening.
He should be listening because now he'll find out. I mean, he'll know that. I mean, I haven't even said your last name, so I guess you're just a Heidi.
Right.
Right.
Right?
He's not listening. He's already at City Hall.
Have you ever told your husband that you were dissatisfied with his technique?
No.
Never, ever?
No.
See, it seems like I could never do that.
Uh-uh.
Why not? I'm sure he does some things that you don't really enjoy.
Right. Right, but
Well, how
I
come
don't,
you just
I don't want to
don't tell
hurt
him?
his feelings.
Like what?
I don't think I think there's got to be a way that you figure out how to instruct him properly. Let him know. Believe me, your husband wants to give you pleasure. He doesn't want to do anything to you that hurts you or, causes you some pain. He doesn't want that. He wants to give you pleasure.
Right.
And so that's the reason why you usually leap on this stuff in the very beginning. Don't let it go on for years, because then you say, well, how come you didn't stop me 4 years ago from doing that? Right? What is it that happens? What is it he does that you don't like?
Yeah. What?
Stop it. I'm not going to say.
Oh, come on. What is it?
No.
You do as Uncle Johnny says.
I called in on the wrong day.
See what you get for winning.
I bet you, man.
I know.
I bet you he works out on the clitoris like Lisle Hahn a speed bag. I bet you that's it. And I bet you that's it. So that, and he's fumbling down there. It's like, man, are you trying to crack a safe or turn me on?
Yeah. Otherwise, it sounds like they have a disgustingly happy marriage.
Yeah, but that's that's not right when one person's something's going on. And I bet you there might be a chance that she's doing something to him, and he doesn't want to tell her because he doesn't want to hurt.
Yeah,
her
I'll
feelings.
bet that's the case.
You don't think that's the case?
No.
See, I bet you there's at least one thing that you do. There's something, but he won't tell you because he don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, and I'll bet you want to do the Baja Chongo.
The Baja Chongo.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they can do that or not, Steve. I mean, they got the 5-year-old around.
Yeah, forget it.
When you got kids around, if they ever, they can smell the Baja Chongo.
Oh, man, when you get those Chongo lips working.
Oh,
whoa.
Stop it, man. We're going to lose our license.
Okay, I take it back.
All right.
I didn't hear that Baja Chongo.
Enjoy the fight Saturday night, Heidi.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and if you happen to see me, just kind of divert the husband's attention because I don't want him tracking me down.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Come say hi. We'll be there.
Okay, thanks.
I bet you that's what it is. Don't you think that's what it is? It's like
It's got to be.
I would think there'd be something where he fumbles around the clitoris too much. It's like either overstimulating or it's like, okay, all right, what are you trying to do? Put out a forest fire?
Yeah.
What are you, one of those Mexican guys with the branches just beating the fire out? That's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I would think that
would be a good way to go.
That's
or
a top.
to think
That's a
that he's
top
just
3
not
on the
hitting
list.
it where it should be hit.
Right.
That he's working on it and working on it and just not hitting that point.
She's faking it. It's
Do you think that's it, Chuck?
I think it's obvious. She has to fake it.
Well, I agree with Heidi. Sometimes it's difficult to tell someone. You don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah, the thing
without
is,
sounding negative.
Yeah, but see, guys are real. I mean, as long as you make that guy feel important, men like to feel important. Okay, we all know that. You have to stroke their ego and make them feel mighty, and that they make good decisions. And they're important, and they're handsome, and all these different things. As long as you assure them that they're good, then it's okay. Then you can tell them something. You don't belittle them when you tell them something because they want to give you pleasure. Because you know how guys are. There we are. We want to do it right. We want to do it the right way because we're afraid we'll strip the threads.
And that's important.
The vast majority of orgasmic women do not climax through penile thrusting. I think most women that are, at ease with their body, when you're younger, you try to attempt it, and when he's, passed out, then you go ahead and finish off yourself, right? Get it done with. Because sometimes you're afraid to do that in front of him because he thinks, well, I'm not good enough for you. It's like, no, I need more than just that. Only 6% of wives have ever been swapped.
What country is that?
I have no idea.
That must be in some developing, emerging third world nation, like Rwanda or something.
Rwanda?
Yeah. So I'll bet there's a lot of that stuff that goes on in this country.
What, wife swapping?
Yeah.
I don't think.
And I find that offensive.
Now, how can you swap partners when you can't even tell your husband what he's doing wrong?
I'll give you this wife for that wife.
I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
That's nothing wrong with that. That's like commodity trading in the stock market,
I decided to, hang out with his coworker because it made him happy, and I didn't want to upset him.
I'll give you mine and this dude's for yours. Just like baseball cards, wife swapping.
Sexual techniques, 470-KISS. I would love from those of you that are in swing clubs, you hang out with a lot of different partners, couples, that sort of thing. I mean, you might have some sexual techniques to employ when you are faced with the threesome.
Yeah.
Because if that's unfamiliar territory, I mean, what exactly do you do?
How do you pay attention to 2 people at once?
It's like spinning something on your hand and spinning something on your foot and your nose. And you got a lot of different things going on at one time. Yeah. Plates everywhere. 470-KISS.
Imagine.
Yeah, KISS. 99.5 KISS. Welcome back to Topic Tuesday. It's the Lisle Hahn Show. Tomorrow, Jesse James Lehan will be our guest to talk about the big fight on Saturday with Azuma Nelson, the 4th time they fought. And we got tickets to give away to that fight hopefully later on this hour. I'm going to try to give away another pair and get you qualified for ringside seats.
It's a national pay-per-view event. So.
You know, I'm going to do like Dennis Rodman did at the Pearl Jam show in Dallas.
And jump in the ring.
I'm going to jump up in the ring during the fight.
Hey, look at
me! And try to, like, hold Azuma Nelson. I mean, you know, people say, come on, man, you get the crap knocked out of you. Well, these are smaller men. Sure, they're lethal, but, I mean, I think I can do it. It's not like I'm jumping in the ring with another 250-pounder. You know, these are smaller guys. Hey, I'll be all drunk.
Yeah. Look at me, everybody.
Yeah.
You'd be bad nationwide, man.
Yeah, I'll be on pay-per-view. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Hey, and if we don't end up doing it, you know, I'll tell you once again, if you give us evidence that somehow you got on pay-per-view broadcast or maybe in front of one of the cameras that's positioned around the courthouse up in New Braunfels with a KISS shirt on, I'll give you something for that. Yeah, somehow you just you create a scene and the cameras are trained on you. And one of the tabloid shows has you on with wearing a KISS shirt. Because I'm telling you, when people in Muscatine, Iowa, or wherever the hell Muscatine is, when they see that KISS shirt, they want to listen. So that means a whole lot.
Muscatine.
Right. It's always like, hey, get on national TV wearing our logo. How does that help you locally? I've never figured that one out.
I don't either.
But you do it, I'll give you something. All right. And it might be from Angel's nightstand drawer.
Little box of toys?
Little box of toys.
Big box of toys.
Big box of toys. Toy
like
selection. What do you have? Like one of those snap-on tools, like rolling tool carts? Is that what you have next to the bed?
Like in a garage?
We whip out the tool belt.
Wow.
No. Well, my husband and I have been together for like 10 years, so we've had to get a little...
Creative,
yes. And
just because you settle into a routine. Now, haven't you heard some of these people this morning? You know, they call in and then some of the things they mention, you go like, "This is new."
Been there, done that. No.
Right.
But we usually start off with foreplay, and that has gotten, you know, kind of. Well, we've done that so often that we needed to
routine, right?
Routine. So we needed to change it up. So we got this catalog one day and decided we were going to order a couple of things from it. And we use a certain toys. I don't know what I can say on the air. So.
What do you use? Dildos, vibrators.
We use vibrators, and like we'll start foreplay, and then we start having a sex, and we start filling up all the orifices.
Oh, I see. Look at Kelley just all of a sudden started cringing. Well, there's no whole lot to fill up now, is there, Angel?
No, but...
Well, I bet you all look at debris at construction sites in a whole different way now.
Yeah, hey, don't throw away that rebar. You don't need that.
PCV.
So somehow in other words, you have something buzzing in that orifice that scares Kelley.
Exit only.
While something's going on for you. Is that what you mean?
Right. Yes.
Right.
Since my husband won't let me act out the fantasy of two men, he doesn't mind that one is plastic.
Now, when you're doing this, what we're talking about today is your sexual techniques. You know, the things that work for you. Now, when you're, of course, entertaining this fantasy, and you got the there, and then you got the fantasy going on. Are you verbal about this fantasy?
Oh yeah.
When he's with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he can kind of imagine it, but he doesn't necessarily have to feel some guy's hairy butt on him.
No.
Right. I think that's the best thing. It's like, okay, my wife is digging the fantasy, I'm digging it, and I don't have any hairy ass in my face.
Exactly.
Right. I don't see how guys do that, because all of a sudden, if I felt that on my leg or
that's
my hand,
icky.
I'm reaching down with my hand because I've got like I'm tweaking the nip in one hand, and then I've got the boob in my mouth, and I'm doing the straight hand, and I reach down and I'm rubbing something, and I realize that it's like the split toenail or something. I'm out, man. That's it.
It is icky with all capital letters.
Oh, that's
icky.
it.
Yeah, without a doubt. So you think you're going to explore the toy world further?
Oh yeah, we do lots.
Oh, you have more than just that was your initial foray.
Oh yeah, that's our initial.
Well, what else do you have? Do you have anything that has a little detonator?
No.
You see this guy's in the bathroom with the plunger.
Stand back. Like a cartoon, right?
Oh my God! Actually, the bed. No, I'm just kidding. Well, those.
You have the plugs?
Yeah.
Wow. You have the plugs?
Is that? I think. Yeah. And the balls on the string. Yeah.
Yeah, the Benoit balls kind of thing, and the balls on the string.
Yeah, Benoit Balls is the first round leader at the Chrysler Open.
We interrupt this broadcast with special golf news.
So, Angel and her husband have been doing the jellyfish.
The what?
The jellyfish.
The jellyfish.
That's what you call what they've been doing.
Okay.
I thought it was the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Or the
Kelley.
snail.
Yes.
Never mind.
You really need to try just once, the fellatio.
Oh, I think she has attempted it, yeah.
Don't go
That's why I don't go back.
And backdoor is not too bad either.
Excuse me?
I said backdoor is not too bad either.
Oh. Well, I'm your backdoor man.
I love this woman.
I'm your backdoor man.
Well, I don't think Kelly's ever going to try that.
I don't think so.
Right. It has to be one of those
purpose only.
desert island scenarios and something about, continuing to live. I don't know.
Survival, that's it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, though, Angel.
You're welcome.
I'm having trouble understanding what she meant by back what. Could you come over here and show me, demonstrate?
I'm a little far from the station, but...
Bring your toy.
No, that's okay. We got the prize pig rounding up people this morning.
Yes, I heard.
Just so I can understand a little bit more thoroughly.
How it's entered, huh?
Right.
It's the backdoor man to Angel's soul kitchen.
Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Doing the jellyfish. Man, I haven't heard of
It's a good attitude.
Long time.
No, but you see, when you're married 10 years, you can do that sort of thing. I mean, I've been married over 11 years. I've been married 12 years in December. Let me tell you, it's like, if you don't change your carpet out every 10 years or so, you have those furrows that are everywhere because you've been, the same paths. Same things happen on your body. You have places where the hair's worn down because you're doing the exact same maneuvers. Like I said, places that used to be sensitive now have calluses on them. So you have to vary it up a little bit. And that's what you do. So and the thing is that if you're into monogamy, then you can't really, go and have all these different sexual partners. So you have to fantasize about your special sexual partners. So that's the way it is. And kind of, I have this one about this guy who cruises up and he's got an old cutlass and he's a Shriner. Yeah. And he has that certain ruddy complexion. Well, he looks like one of those irate middle-aged gentlemen from Castle Hills. That's what he looks like.
Boy.
Yeah,
Stern disciplinarian.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah. My way or the highway, kid.
Have you ever heard any of my
told.
conversations with the wife? I don't know. That's what I like. But, you entertain these things instead of actually going out and contracting with one of these guys. Yeah. One of the mean the evil man who's oppressed us. Oh, yes. You see that face and that's everything evil in our country. The middle-aged white guy with his scowl.
Yeah.
He's oppressed us, man. That was the guy who dealt in slaves. That's the guy that wanted things to be segregated. That's the guy that kept women down. That's the guy that exploited third world workers. That's the guy who was the money-grubbing